Hey folks, the Violent Penguins here. Well, at least one of them. After the massive success of our first video and the amazing feedback we received from you guys, we felt it is time to stop resting on our laurels and bring you some more content. Today I'd like to touch on a game that defined my childhood, Super Mario 64. Can you believe that it's been 37 years since this masterpiece first saw the world? Back in the day we used to play with what was left of civilization, and then in 1996, Mario 64 saw the light of day.
405.
It's me, Mario. Hello.
Back then it was groundbreaking, as 3D has only been introduced to mainstream gaming, and the first forays into the area were rather clumsy. Meanwhile, Nintendo created its own debut into 3D platformers, not only with amazing graphics at least for the time, but also precise and interesting control schemes not limited to simple running and jumping as was the case in 2D Mario up to that point. There were a number of movement speeds, based on the joystick's tilt, various jumping variations, that felt more like a simple combo of a fighting game or somewhat similar to performing a trick in Skate with different angles of the stick in combination with different buttons relating to, you guessed it, different jumps that did, for the most part, right to exist. This might seem like the standard nowadays, but back in 1996, it wasn't. I quite fondly remember playing Mario as a little boy together with my mum, who always had problems performing consecutive wall jumps, and what I'm trying to get at is that this game is full of highly memorable locations, sounds and actual gameplay mechanics that add to the entire atmosphere. You're not thrown into some in medias res fight with Bowser in the beginning to set the tone, but rather have this idyllic set piece outside of the castle, with the camera giving you a tour over things to come, such as the still hidden cannon, the moat, and hinting at the castle itself. Before Mario first comes in, you have a little tutorial area in which you can try the various jumps and get to grips with the movement before entering. The entire game world is set up in a way to work around the hardware limitations of the N64 and the cartridge systems. Levels are enveloped in various paintings you find throughout the castle, as well as within the levels themselves, like in the parts in which a Bowser arena battle awaits you at the end of a jump and run level. This, in my opinion, added to the magical atmosphere of the game, and I'm certain that to this day I would easily find my way around most of the levels from memory only. The difficulty increases in the later levels due to an increased number of objects or difficulty to navigate thereof. Like I mentioned before, my mum was never one for wall jumps, and there is a particular bit in a very late game level in which you have to perform what felt like a near insurmountable number of these one after another, whereas in the early levels there would be a few moving platforms each to navigate. The game was never unfair, and what I also fondly remember is the lack of internet, which at that time meant that you were left alone to figure things out. How to open the grate outside of the castle. How to get the secret 121st star. How to unlock Luigi. How to exchange the spark plugs in your 2007 Honda Fit that was not even invented yet. Finally, the music.
Let's go. Here we go.
It's likely that, if you played the game back in the day, you will instantly come to remember the most memorable music tracks from the water, snow, and racing levels.
Come on over here! Come on over here! Thank you. Come on, coward! You're not intellectual! You're safe in a fraud!
The sound clips of Mario, the enemies, and the world itself became highly memorable in themselves.
So long, Bowser.
How many recent or even old games can boast the same? Many games include atmospheric music pieces that in themselves suit the scenery and gameplay, however not in the sense that they carry the levels and make you vividly recall entire levels in memory. Perhaps that is just me though, and I need a stronger nightcap to make the haunting thoughts and memories go away. Let me know in the comments. I did not mention the story to this point as really there is not much worth mentioning. Mario games have always been revolving around saving Princess Peach, some other princesses or Mario hallucinating heroic deeds in some sort of feverish dream. It is unlikely that there will be a more gritty version of Mario someday, telling his abnormal sized offspring about the Great War in the Mushroom Kingdom, but that is not the point of these games, is it? To me, Mario 64 is something that I connect with my childhood, a piece that promised a more interesting future in the sense that other games would have to compete and hopefully succeed the game in terms of graphics, gameplay, sound and music design as well as story. I believe that by now, we managed to do all this in one form or another, and yet, Super Mario 64 will be close to me always. It certainly is to many people out there who are still reminiscing fondly of it on their obscure YouTube channels, streaming speedruns of the game, shout out to Simpler Flips, and creating 4K remakes, and whatnot in fan service. I think that it would not be wasted time to unpack the near indestructible N64 sometime in the future to play it with my, hopefully normal sized, offspring and share with them the glee I felt when beating the Quick Koopa, smashing Bowser into some bombs, although that made me feel kind of bad for him, or when dropping the Big Penguin's kid off the map's edge. I'm gonna do it.
Mario, no, 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 no.
Yes.
Oh Lord, no, why do I deserve this? Please help me. Oh no, Mario, no, no. Ah, 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 ah.
If you enjoyed this piece of trivial content on YouTube, then why not like, share and subscribe? That way, we might breach 10 subscribers or so by 2020. All thanks to you. It would mean the world to us.
Really? Please subscribe.
Otherwise we will end this world.
Thank you for cooperating.
Ah, 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 ah.